Hi guys. Well, it's been a while since I've made one of these video clips. Had a lot going on, been real busy the last couple of months. Well, today I was at church with a friend, and we had a little discussion about AKs and guns in general. And I had made a mention that I do these YouTube tutorials, and he had asked me a real honest question, and I thought I had made a video clip on this issue. And he asked me about trigger slap. And I asked him if he's got a Tafco trigger in it, and he was telling me what he had. And it turns out that he's got an original trigger assembly in his rifle. And so he had no idea how to do a trigger replacement, and I referred him to my videos, but doggone it, I didn't make a video on it yet. So here we go. I've got in front of me my Waster 1063 rifle. I'm going to go ahead and do a short little video clip on how to replace or upgrade your trigger assembly. It's a real simple process. Tafco has made it very, very simple. We're going to go ahead and pan down here so that you guys get a look at it, and I'm hoping that everything will show up like it's supposed to. Whoop. Now I got too far. Alright, go ahead and tilt this just a little bit so that you guys can get a look at it. I'm going to view in. Span out just a little bit. There we go. First thing you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and take your top cover off. It's simple as can be. Go ahead and lock up my vise here because I didn't get it locked tight enough. Go ahead and pull your recoil spring out. Set it aside. Take your safety off, pull your bolt assembly out, and that's going to expose your internal organs. So that's going to be your trigger assembly and your hammer. Take and put your finger right here and put pressure on the trigger, and then pull the trigger and ease it up. You know, you don't want to just slam that trigger forward and just any old time, because it will come forward on this pin right here, and it can actually cause a little bit of damage if you keep putting it on that pin. Go ahead and take a hook or a similar object, and you hook onto this spring right here that's down over your trigger assembly. Go ahead and hook that over your hammer, and you're going to take the other end of the spring. There's two pieces to it. Now this will work with double hook and single hook triggers. Most AKs come with a single hook trigger. Some of your Chinese ones do come with a double hook. It's all in the different manufacturing. You don't have to have it. Go ahead and pan over to where you scroll that over to where you can see down inside there. And if you'll look right here, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to take this retainer pin out. Go ahead and lock your springs together. Be a little careful because these are spring loaded. It's like setting a mouse trap, so they can get you if you're not careful. Take your trigger or your safety, pull it all the way up, and then it'll release. You can pull it out. Now this gun has got the little keeper in here that I've already installed. I've got a separate video on how to swap one of those out with the Shepherd hook. Very simple little device. I suggest getting one of those. Now that you've pulled that keeper out, it's very simple to get to the internals. Now there's your trigger assembly. Bam, bam. You've got your hammer assembly, which is now not under spring tension. You're going to take your pin. You're going to pull this out. There's your hammer pin or your trigger pin. There's your trigger assembly. Now you'll note that that this all came together as one piece. Well, this is actually a Tafco G2 trigger assembly. Your factory triggers that originally came in here were a two-piece, or actually a three-piece if you included the little spring that was in it. And they didn't have this little sleeve, and this was what was real nice about the Tafco. When you pull your factory trigger out, you're going to replace it with one of these, and you can drop it in as a drop-in assembly like that. Then you're going to pull out your hammer, pull your pin out. Whoops, there it is. Gonna ease your hammer sideways. Be careful with these springs, guys, because they will get you. And there it is. There's your hammer assembly. We're going to go ahead and unhook your spring assembly. There's your spring assembly there. Now you can see how this spring rides in that little rounded section there. You can go ahead and just kind of walk it out of there. And there's your pieces. Now this set right here actually counts for 3 individual pieces, because you got your hammer, you got your trigger, and then this right here is going to be your disconnector. So this set right here is going to count as 3 compliance parts for your AK rifle. I'm going to go ahead and put this back together to show you just how simple it is. Now you remember what I said as far as that rounded section right there? See this little rounded section? This is actually the back side of the hammer. You've got the front side. This is the part that contacts the firing pin. You want to make sure that this portion here is configured. This is the easiest way to do it. If you're laying it in like this, make sure that these little curves are on the back side of the trigger, or the back side of the hammer. If they're pointed up towards the back side of the hammer like that, then you've got it in the right configuration. Go ahead and put it back together. Loop it around like that. Now you can pull these back around like this, and again, be careful, because these things will get you, and I probably will get popped here before this video is over. There you go. Just like that. Now, put it back in the gun. Just take and slide it down in there. Trying to do this to where you guys can see it slide, and kind of give it a little twist. And then you're going to take your, I'm going to let go of that to where you guys can see it. You're going to take and line up your hammer pin. Make sure it goes through the other side of the gun. There you go. Now that the hammer pin's in, you're going to take your trigger assembly. Real simple little drop-in replacement. Take that trigger assembly and it just drops all the way in, just like that. Take your other pin, line up your hole. Make sure everything's lined up. And it is. Once you're lined up there, then you can take and put your keeper in. Go ahead and loosen this so you guys can see it. Now again, this portion right here is going to lock in over the in the groove on your hammer spring pin, or on your hammer pin. This part here is going to set down over your trigger pin. Get in there and line it up. Make sure that your pin is seated. That locks in right there. And you're going to come around to your hammer, or your trigger. Now your hammer and your trigger are lined up and everything's locked in like it's supposed to be. And I'll show you what that looks like. You can see that, should be able to see that pretty easily. Now you're going to take these springs. I don't know why they keep slipping down like that. Take these springs, ease them down, and they're going to lock in over the top of your trigger, as you can see from the video there. Then you're going to take your safety lever, and you're going to drop your safety lever in, rotating it in, and you're going to line up this part right here, and it's going to go through your retainer clip into the other side of the receiver. And then you're going to go ahead and pull your trigger to where that will clear, and then you're going to drop your safety down. Once you're finished with that, you go ahead and lock your hammer in, give it a little tension, and ease that up a little bit, and check the trigger a couple of times, make sure that it functions. Then you're going to go ahead and make sure that your bolt assembly is in the right configuration. We're going to span that out a little bit. Drop your bolt assembly back in. Put your main spring back on. Cycle the weapon a couple of times. Function check. Pull it back. Function check. Now you know that the gun will function like it's supposed to. Then you can go out and actually fire the weapon. Well, I hope this was informative, guys, and for the guy at church, I hope this helps out. It should make it a little easier to diagnose some of your problems that you're having, and this will fix the trigger slap if you put one of these triggers in your AK gun. Thanks for watching. Hope it was informative. Keep posting. Check me out. I'm on Facebook now, Kel-Tec Lover, and y'all have a nice night. Thank you for watching.